Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. We are just about to get going. We are trying to get everything set up and all the technical glitches worked out. Lots of technical glitchies this morning. So, hello, Manny Uncanny. This is funny. Let it be closed. We'll just go to Universal. Who else is in the house this morning? Rhonda H. in the house. My beautiful wife, Virginia Bradley, here and liked. That's right, everybody. Be sure and like the stream as you're coming into it. Hit that like button. Let's get this out to as many people as possible. Only a minute and a half to go. Five, four, three, two, 1, 0. Here we go. On with the show. 3, 2, 1, live.
Cool.
Welcome back, Fun Fam! And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to follow the Bradley's Fun, the Daily Dish, starring me, Ani Bradley. I'm your host. Welcome in. I hope that wherever you are having a phenomenal day. This morning, as of today, this is the last day of July the 31st, 2024, as of the recording of the show, as of the live stream of the show. If you're coming back into it later, you can do that. If you're coming into it now, I should say, coming into it now, please give us that thumbs up. Everybody, hit the like, boop, boop, boop. You can pop out, hit the like, pop back into the chat, and here we are. We're ready to go. Let's see. Speaking of the chat, let's see who all is here and in the chat this morning. Oh, it's funny. I'm getting it. I'm on my monitor where I'm actually watching the show. I'm getting an ad. I'm going to skip it. I'm going to skip it. So Manny Uncanny is here. You were first in line. We got I'm seeing this is cool. We got 14 people in here watching this morning. And I'm doing a longer show now, starting at 9:30 a.m. with the goal of eventually bumping up to 9. So be aware. But bumping up to 9 means I got more show prep to do because I got to make sure I have plenty to talk about over the course of an hour and a half, 90 minutes. I don't know. That's a long time. What do we have to talk about that could take 90 minutes? Actually, we could take all day because after this, we're streaming right in to Culture Casino. Of course, I could do the Good Morning Vietnam thing, and that's just to like start with that every day. I don't think I'll get copyright claim when I'm doing it myself. Good morning, Vietnam. Hey, this is not a test. It's time to rock and roll from the Delta to the DMZ. I don't know how many people even remember that great Robin Williams movie anymore, but I know I certainly do. I most certainly do. So we've got Manny and Canny is first in line. And talking about the title of the stream, he's saying, let it be closed. We'll just go to Universal. Oh, that was me because I had to relaunch my entire Chrome browser after I had everything set up and ready to go. And then it said relaunch browser to update because it couldn't play without the update. Oh, great. Great. Technical glitches all around. Hello, Manny. Rhonda H says, hello, Manny. And my beautiful wife, she's in the house as Virginia Bradley here and liked. Good to see you. Good morning. Obviously, we're here at home. We've seen each other. So good. Tom F says hello to all. And Little Mouse 27, a member of the channel, is here in house. Speaking of that, channel members, I am most likely going to do a members only live stream this coming Saturday. Excuse me. You stop that. Stop tickling my throat and making me burp and do bad things. I've got a camera on. I know, talking to my drink. Does that even work? Anyhow. So, yeah, if you are a member of the channel, and there's been a lot of channel memberships dropped, gifted memberships lately, which I definitely appreciate. Go and Shogi and Anna Greco and all those who have dropped those gifted memberships, we appreciate you. And I'm sure that all of the new members of the channel also appreciate you. And, of course, if you are a member of the channel and you want to re-up that when your 30 days comes, you should get notified via email to re-up that. But we are going to start doing a lot more because we've gotten a lot more members. I think it's like 25 members of the channel right now. I think Go and Shogi, didn't you just upgrade to Skyliner level? So some more things for that. So what I'm probably going to do this Saturday is a live stream in the morning. Make sure your notifications are turned on. Obviously, you want to click that notification bell because when you click it, you stick it to the YouTube algorithm and you get notified of things like what's coming up on Saturday, a members only stream. We're going to go live, probably do the first half hour or so for all members, maybe an hour for members. And then we're going to go to a Skyliner and above members only stream for a little bit after that. So let's see who else is in the house. We've got the Bud Files. They're here this morning. Good morning, people. Jeremy Haith says hola. And Going Shogi, who just upgraded to that Skyliner level. Welcome in, Go and Shogi, and thank you for all the wonderful support. You have helped us to be able to somewhat upgrade the stream, and we've got more upgrades on the way. And I'll be talking about that in just a little bit. Who else we got? Vinny T. Vinny T says, good morning. And the Little Mouse 27. Oh, shoot, I forgot my hat. Now, where is it? Moon. Did you take my hat again? Moon. I'm assuming Moon is the name of your cat, perhaps. Or dog, I don't know. Or somebody else, I don't know. Hail, Go, and Shogi. And Tom F. also says, hail. Let's see. So that is all of the people in the house, and I've got to click on this. So what I'm about to tell you is that we have currently upgraded one tiny little level on our streams in StreamYard. We are still broadcasting in 720p. I'd like to be able to go up to a full HD 1080p stream, and that is the next level on StreamYard. However, we were able to get rid of that wherever it is. I don't know. This side? I think it was on this side. Where the StreamYard logo was. It's not there now. I have not put my own logo there yet, but I might. I don't know. We'll see. I upgraded right before the show on Monday morning and haven't had a chance to really even look into all of the things that the current upgrade can do. But I think there is quite a bit. But we are continuing to raise fundage. If you don't mind helping out, you're more than welcome to. If you can't afford to do a super or membership or anything like that, please do not. We have a horrid economy right now, and I totally understand that. Don't be giving me a super if groceries are gonna, go away from that. So, but if you can afford it, great, wonderful, and we absolutely appreciate any help that we get, because the help we get helps you have better quality streams, and that's what we want. All of this is for you guys, and we couldn't do this without you. So thank you so much for being there. We appreciate it. CME Traveling is also in the house. Morning. Hope everyone is doing well, listening and editing vlogs, and that I can certainly understand. We love CME Traveling. They do some great stuff, especially when it comes to cruising and cruise information. I was on, not on, but I was chatting on Eddie Lugo's show this morning, and man, I really want to go cruising again. I put out a short because of Eddie Lugo that is from the one cruise vlog that I have on the channel. It's funny because that cruise vlog was not really filmed to be a vlog. I filmed a lot of it it's with an old camera. It's very shaky, doesn't have the smoothness of my new camera. And I wasn't ever sure that I was going to put it up on the channel. It was filmed before I actually had the channel. It was filmed in 2017. And there was no channel back then. There were no vlogs back then, but I finally decided I would go ahead and edit it best I could last August. I think it's almost been a year that I've had that up on the channel. And I'm like, you know what? For my own family memories, I really want this on the channel. It's shaky. It's not great. But it's my son's 5th birthday, and he's 11 now, going on 12. And so we like to have that up so that we can easily get to go to YouTube and rewatch our own memories, which is kind of awesome. I do love YouTube for that. Oh, yes, Tom F says he remembers this. Oh, we've got, let's see. For my good morning, Vienna. Little Mouse says, good morning, Orlando. That's right. Good morning, Orlando. That is not the name of this show because it goes out worldwide. It's not just the local Orlando show. I remember that Robin Williams skit. It was great. I like the Wizard of Oz stuff that he did. Traveling from the Delta to the DMZ. Morning. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's see. We did that one. I love that movie. They actually kind of did that in a Quantum Leap episode. Good morning, Peoria. Was that the new Quantum Leap or the original Quantum Leap? Remember, you'll have to let me know, because I think I can access both of those shows. I love the original Quantum Leap. I haven't really watched it. I've watched a little bit of the new Quantum Leap, and it didn't really draw me in. Not without Sam Beckett in it, My cat decided to start the morning by knocking everything on the floor. I wasn't awake. I am now. Oh my goodness, going Shogi. Are you actually in California somewhere, like Southern California? Let me know. Vinny T says, I'll be in the park Saturday, but we'll try to listen while I hop. Sounds fun. Izzo's Place is in the house. I'm here for a change. It's been a weird week. It's been a weird month. Has July not been one of the absolute craziest months that we've ever had on this planet, with what happened to President Trump? And then, first was the reaction to those debates and everybody saying Biden get out, which is so funny. It's like, you guys are acting like this wasn't all pre-planned, except that people were everybody was saying Biden's going to get out before the election. Biden's going to get out before. I've heard that for a year, and so it's like, man, this is all pre-planned. It just feels that way to me anyway. It's like, man, it's so much theater in the political arena. That's why, I mean, this isn't a political channel. I don't really discuss politics, but boy, is it. You certainly got the drama and the theatrics going on over there. Little Mouse 27, love of the handle. And we've got Izzo's Place. Good morning, going Shogi. And CME editing too. We're all editing. We got a bunch of stuff to do. And then Jeremy, me too. Izzo changed. My year-old blue wrench disappeared. Oh, well. Yeah, I've been trying to figure things out with the mods. That's why I'm like, some wrenches may have disappeared, but you remember, Jeremy, that's more important, you know. The reason is I'm going to do a credit screen for all of the mods. So there's been some rearranging that's happening with moderators, and then I'm going to put when I redo the credits with all the new members and everything, the mods are going in as well. So it's kind of a lot to do. Man, I'm way behind on the chat here. Look at all these. Yes, local Southern California. Sure does. Native Hawaiian is in here. CMA says, we love going on cruises, so we get to visit Orlando's Walt Disney World. I remember my first visit to Walt Disney World in 1976. Mine was 1978, I want to say. 77? 77, actually, yes. And Native Hawaiian says, morning. We are all caught up with the chat. So that being said, since we're all caught up with the chat, I want to let you guys know, again, we have raised the funds. We have raised all of the funds to upgrade, and we have upgraded one level, as you now know. However, we would like to upgrade to that 1080p level, get the streams really nice, really clear. And I've noticed that there's still some glitchiness, and we want to get rid of that. So any funds that we do receive will help. But more important, and Go and Shogi knows this, and Greco knows this, and all the people who have contributed in the chat know this, that when we get the supers or the memberships drops, or somebody becomes a member during the stream, we also like to do a little bit of a celebration. So this is how that celebration looks when it happens. Get ready for it. Let's celebrate.
Too much? Too much. It's your birthday.
Hey, this is just the best of us seen. I don't know where that music comes from. I think I got it from Epidemic Sound. I think that's where I usually get most of my. Go and Shogi put the Ed Grimley. I don't think it shows up on the screen when I do it like this, but I love that you put that in the chat. That's so fun. Yes, we've got the new Ed Grimley emoji for new members. You can't not dance. It's impossible. It's fun. Follow the Bradley's fun. That's what we like to do. What are we talking about today? So yes, if you saw the title, it says Disney World permanently closed. Is this possible? I didn't put is this possible because you're only allowed so many characters when you do a title, and I want people to see it. So you can figure out would it be possible. Now here's what happened. Let me ask you. Let me tell you why I got. Let me tell you why I came up with this idea. This happened last night. This happened last night. This is not. I can't speak. This is not based on any current news that is happening. This happened because I was watching a YouTube video. And by the way, chat, go on if you have anything that you want to highlight. Just super it or whatever. And of course, we'll get to those first. Well, so. The reason I started thinking of this is I was showing my wife this video of a mall that I used to work at when I was a teenager. It's called Chesterfield Mall. I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm going to see if I can bring it up. Am I frozen again? Looks like I was frozen there for a second. Let me see if I can find this for you guys. Chat among yourselves while I'm looking. Basically, when I watched this, it kind of started me down a rabbit hole. So you've got today, and the reason this is happening today, okay, is because Chesterfield Mall in St. Louis, Missouri has stayed open for a long time. Recorded 720 and 722. Okay, so this was recorded last week. And what I'm going to do is see if I can get this up here and put it on the screen. It seems like it says V-Stock Chesterfield Mall. And we're going to silence it. Let's mute it. And then I'm going to share this tab. And then we're going to pull it up. Okay. All right. So here it is. This is Chesterfield Mall. And Chesterfield Mall has been open for, I don't know, it opened, I want to say maybe about the time I was born or very, very close to that in the 1970s or maybe the late 1960s, but I want to say the 1970s. It was thriving in the 1980s, and it's today is the very last official day of its being in operation and being open. Now, here's the deal: it's been open for a while, but it's also been vacant, mostly vacant for a while, even though it has remained open. So it effectively closed several years ago, but still kept its doors open and has been running as, like a ghost mall kind of a thing. It's kind of scary. Let me see if I can make this a larger picture for you guys. I don't know how that works. There we go. And we're just going to hit play. AMC Theater. There's a Cheesecake Factory there, as you can see, and store closing. So store closing, last day of business, July 28th. I believe. Look at all the stock that they still had in the store. Horrible camera work by these people. Sorry about that. But look, this looks like a GameStop, if it is a GameStop, but I guess V stock is similar to a GameStop, maybe. Anyway, this is not a store that existed when I worked in the mall. I worked there in 1989, 90, 91. I worked there in 1991 after my last year of high school. And after actually my first year of college, I believe I worked there. Worked at Merry-Go-Round and worked at a TiVo. My wife is officially in the house now. Welcome in. Good morning, my beautiful wife, Virginia Bradley. We are talking about that mall that I showed you last night, baby. This is, and as you can see, they have a lot of stock in the store. Because this mall has been primarily empty, this is like the most horrible camera work. I don't think these people know how to use a camera very well, because you're not supposed to turn like that. My bad. I haven't. This is not the one that I watched. This is brand new. I can forward this perhaps out of this store, but stores like this were getting robbed in this mall. Because for the most part, maybe they only went into this store. Maybe that's why. Let me try to find. the other videos. Hold on just a minute, and we're gonna look for the. This might be just the VStock store, but man, somebody needs to teach this YouTube channel how to do camera work correctly because you can't just be arbitrarily swishing around the camera. Vintage stock. Okay, so it's like it is like a GameStop store. I figure. I'm trying to see if there's a. I wanted to see a recent one of the whole mall because I've got 8 months ago, I've got 10 months ago, 1 month ago, Cheesecake Factory final walkthrough. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Not very many views, only at 351 views. So we're this channel. This is from malls and let's see if we can bring that up for you. There we go. So this is the outside of the mall, outside of Chesterfield Mall. And Jeremy, you're there. You're in the St. Louis area. It's a shame. You probably been to this mall several times. You know, today is the official closing window. This is the AMC Theater. This is a little bit of a glitch there. So they're going in the mall. And Jeremy, you can do better camera work than some of these people. I'm not in St. Louis, but some of this camera work is it's not great. But this is interesting. So they're Chesterfield Mall still open up until, I don't know if today is the last operating day or if it's already closed right now. But as you can see, it's completely empty. Right. The audio is slightly spotty from the YouTube video that I'm playing, but good afternoon, Juliet. Good afternoon, Ron and chat. Juliet's here. Hello, everybody. Hello. So this mall is empty. This mall was thriving, and I mean thriving. And Jeremy probably knows what I'm talking about. Rhonda knows what I'm talking about. They're in the St. Louis area. I mean, this was the happening place. And I'm telling you, when I was in school, parents would drop their junior high kids off here, leave them for the day. High school kids would give junior high friends rides here. This was like the hangout. When out in the 1980s, like we would be here every day after school. We'd be here on the weekends. We'd go watch movies here. We'd hang out. We'd go get the food from the food stores. I mean, this was an amazing place, and it is completely dead now. And this was less than a month ago that this footage was taken, and it's just there's nothing there. I mean, there's no people. There's no. I mean, it's crazy. So I got to thinking. I mean, with this being able to happen to a mall, and not just a mall, but mall culture around the United States, is it at all possible that anything like this could ever happen to Walt Disney World, as big as it is? Well, as I was pondering that question, I started to think about things. And you might remember, and I want to share this story. When I share these stories, because I'm bringing them up on the fly, there might be some advertising that comes up that I don't necessarily want, but we're gonna try our best to get this out here for you properly and appropriately. This is Blockbuster. Anybody remember Blockbuster? Let's see who else is still here in the house. Mr. Fulton Mraz says, "Good morning." Oh wow, you're going to be live for an exclusive interview. That's very cool, Mr. Fulton Mraz. And then K. Roberts Bitsoft. What light through yonder window breaks? Spell check doesn't know what yonder is. Oh, that's funny. It's not impossible. People forget Universal Studios almost shuttered and went out of business. Yes, so that's what we're talking about this. We're going to talk about things that people thought would never go out of business. I'm telling you, 20 years ago, nobody thought Blockbuster would ever go out of business. And then things started to invade the Blockbuster territory. One of them is now going out of business. Redbox. Who would think that Redbox would have taken Blockbuster down? Between Redbox and Netflix, which, by the way, Blockbuster had the opportunity to purchase Netflix, and they I don't know, it wasn't very much money comparative to what they can make. If you grew up from the late 1980s to the early 2000s, you likely visited Blockbuster dozens of times throughout their childhood, or maybe you were like me and you worked there for a spell. It wasn't a very long spell. I only worked there for like 3 or 4 weeks. It was a job that I needed at a time when I was going to school for something. But the video rental retailer is not only credited for making Friday nights complete, but most can agree that it helped bring families together as they search for a film and movie theater snacks that everyone could enjoy. So are there any more Blockbusters open in 2022? So this is a little bit of an older story from 2 years ago, but I think there was like one left maybe. Blockbuster had a great run while there was demand for VHS tapes and DVD rentals, but as that died down, so did the number of stores. Blockbuster went from being a giant corporation with 9,094 stores in 2004 to one that was in dire need of bankruptcy protection. Is there a Blockbuster still open in 2022? The last Blockbuster store located in Bend, Oregon. There are many memorable events we can recall happening in 2019. President Donald Trump was impeached for the first time. News of college admissions cheating scandal involved actress Felicity Huffman was made public. It was also the year Blockbuster had established it had in 2022 the final Blockbuster in Oregon. I'm not sure that's even open anymore. But my point to sharing the story is simply that things as big as Blockbuster can fail. And I wanted to see if I could find. And the other thing is, you remember Radio Shacks? Radio Shack is gone. Blockbuster is gone. Big, giant malls that were the hangouts for people are going away. By the way, it's not just Chesterfield Mall. We have one that's like that, a ghost mall here called Fashion Show. I should probably go and do a vlog on it. That would be kind of cool for the channel at some point in time. You go up to Fashion Show and show you. We have some thriving malls here in Orlando, and we have some dead malls, and we have one mall that has become a whole bunch of different things. It's called Deezerland now, but it used to be Festival Bay, and then it was something else, and then we have, of course, we have our outlet stores. Our outlet stores are fine because we're in a tourist area, and people love to go visit outlet stores when they're in tourist areas. What I'm trying to find is some examples of closed theme parks. Actually, let me find this first. There was one of my favorite theme parks in the United States. And let me see if I can bring this up. Let me see if I can find it. It was in Nashville, Tennessee, and it was this was in Nashville, Tennessee. It was an amazing theme park, and the reason it was competitive with Disney was for one very particular reason. It's the only other theme parks in the United States that I believe had the quality of entertainment that Disney World has. So let's see if I can bring this up on the screen and show you guys this interesting article. Looking back at the rushed 1990s, Nashville was home to an iconic theme park like no other in the country. Then it was shuttered for no compelling reason. What's interesting to me about this article is that this is very comparable to the shuttering of Splash Mountain, because Splash Mountain was also shuttered for no compelling kinds of excuses about why they shuttered it, but there was no real compelling reason. If they would have let Splash Mountain just go be and updated it and kept it as Splash Mountain, it would have been fine. Nobody would have said anything. At least, and when I say nobody, maybe a small fraction of people. Maybe there was, I don't know, a complaint, but whatever. In the decades since the New York Times christened Nashville the nation's It City, there's been no shortage of profiles and travel pieces about our town. There have been drop-ins from coastal publications, television programs, clamoring for a look at a city that has seen enormous growth in the 21st century. But this story isn't about that Nashville. This is a story about the Nashville of the late 1990s, before the internet, before 9/11, before the Bachelorettes descended on Lower Broadway, and Nashville found itself a tourist destination for live music and partying. Back then, the biggest tourist attraction in the area was a music-centric theme park called Opryland, USA. Opened in 1972, Opryland was a popular destination. It featured roller coasters and other rides, along with a plethora of live shows that highlighted Nashville's unique performing arts talent. For a time, the park accompanied both the Grand Ole Opry House, home of Nashville's, and the Opryland Hotel, an architectural marvel featuring an indoor jungle and a river flowing through it. And yes, it's a fun river to go on. That's still there to this day, and I really enjoy it. If you find a Nashville native and ask one of us about Opryland, you'll probably hear us wax poetic with nostalgia for a park that now lives only in our collective memory. What few seem to remember is the clumsy nature of its rushed closure by ownership group Gaylord Entertainment 25 years ago this month. When was this written? I think this was written in 2022. This is the story of a bad and very unpopular business decision. Old newspaper report reinforced current company executives' call that the decision was a mistake. This is the story of how a beloved local landmark was sold from under the city that made it. So even a corporate decision can close a major theme park. So that is a possibility. If a corporate decision can close Splash Mountain, the most popular attraction at Walt Disney World or Disneyland, and change it into something that half the people don't like, a corporate decision on Disney's park could also shutter the parks if you have the wrong people making decisions. That is a possibility too. But the other possibility here is, and I want to show you some things. This is in Nashville. This was not Orlando. And Orlando today is filled with theme parks. We have Epic Universe coming. Most major that's been built in recent times and is opening next year. And I think it's going to be the Universal Orlando Islands of Adventure, the 4 Disney parks, parks, 1 Universal water park, SeaWorld park called Aquatica. And those parks you have, and all the extraneous parks like Coco Cay and Margaritaville, they have a water park out there. So there's tons of water parks, and then there's the fun spots and things like that. And then you also have, on top of that, you actually have fairs that come through, whether they're county fairs like the Osceola County Fair or the state fair that comes through. I mean, that's like there's there's an endless supply of theme parks and theme park attractions. And the question is, what happens to the demand over the years? Is because basically these are stories of supply and demand and some dumb mistakes along the way. So I'm going to try to find what I wanted to find about Orlando specifically. So let's go to that. See if I can look that up here. Like I said, I'm doing these on the fly today. So if we have any issues with pop-ups or any of that kind of thing. All right, so let me see if I can bring this up. This is a Wikipedia thing. So with Wikipedia, I shouldn't have any pop-ups, but we're going to talk about Circus World and what happened to Circus World. Let me tell you, I think my mom's in the chat now. She says, I'm late to the party. Good morning, everyone. And she says, my internet is sketchy. Yes. Why? What is up with Spectrum? I'm going to give Spectrum a call, let them know that I'm doing this, and ask them why, when I'm paying $100 a month, is my internet, my Wi-Fi not as good as it needs to be. I'm paying a lot of money for that. So if the Disney characters get tarnished enough, later generations will have zero reasons to care about Disney. And yeah, that's what we're going to talk about here in this particular next thing that we're coming to, which is Circus World. Now, my mom brought her up. She's in the chat. She knows this. We went on probably, was it the first or the second? I think it was the second vacation that we came to Circus World on. So 2 major vacations as a family down here. We actually had more vacations down here, but 2 major ones. I believe one in 1980 and one in 1982 or 83 after Epcot had opened. So we came down in 1980. We stayed at the Polynesian, I believe. Had a great Disney World family vacation. We traveled down. We stayed in Brookside Resort in not Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Drove on down, went to Disney World, had a great time. That was with my sister. Then we came back as a family, but without my sister a couple of years later. I think I was maybe 12 or 13 at the time. Maybe 12. I think I was 12. But on that vacation, we went to a place. It's called Circus World. And let me see if we can bring this up. So Circus World, I had a blast. Got my face painted as a clown. We had a great day there. It's, I want to say, about 20 to 30 minutes south of Disney World. Maybe not even that far. It might even have been closer to Disney World than that. But this was a pretty major theme park. This was the home of Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey at the time. It says Circus World was a theme park built north of Haines City, Florida, in Polk County on the southeast corner of the Interstate 4 US 27 interchange. It was originally a property of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus combined shows. It was intended additionally to be the circus's winter headquarters, as well as to have the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College and its museum located. This is important to me personally because in 1989 I auditioned and it was specifically because of having visited Circus World earlier in my life. I was a senior in high school, wasn't sure where I was going to go to college yet, and I auditioned for the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Clown College because I knew I would be going to Florida and Circus World if I got in. And by the way, I passed the audition. I could have been a Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey clown had I accepted their invitation to come to that clown college. I ended up going to Millikan University for musical theater. That's just north of St. Louis, Missouri, but it's in Illinois, Decatur, Illinois. That's where I ended up choosing to go. And I always think back on these like little tiny decisions that are major life decisions, but you don't know they're major life decisions at the time, because where would my life be today if I had gone to work for Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey? Would I be a clown? Would I be working? Would I have maybe then gone to work at Disney World? I don't know. But it's really funny. So, but we're going to look at the history because this major theme park had good attendance, ended up closing eventually. Here in Orlando, Circus World plans, which did not change by opening, were announced by Irvin Feld as a project of Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus in September of 1972. Plans included a 19-story elephant-shaped hotel, Barnum City, state-of-the-art residential communities. Some of these things were never built. So, yeah, here's the whole history of the thing, and there's all kinds of different weird things that happen back and forth. Mattel sold the circus back to its previous further expanding it with shows, rides, and a new roller coaster. Attendance had declined for 5 straight years when Mattel agreed to sell the park to Jim Monahan in 1983. Sale was finalized in 1984. Then the park's name was changed to Thrill City, blah, blah, blah. Went through a lot of different history and was finally shuttered. Circus World developed a big problem with the opening of Walt Disney World's Epcot Center in late 1982. Now, this is where it becomes important because now Disney is facing the same thing. So Disney opened Epcot and that hurt Circus World. Well, guess what Universal's doing next year? They're opening Epic Universe. And what could that do to Disney World? Could it do something to Disney World like Disney World did to Circus World? Well, we'll see. So, where was I reading here? According to Funways Holidays, Circus World developed a problem with the opening of Walt Disney World's Epcot Center in late 1982. With most tourists taking a full 4 days visiting Central Florida, Disney World added Epcot to its passes, resulting in 3 days being filled. Thus, tourists usually only had 1 day to visit other venues and usually selected SeaWorld, Busch Gardens, Wet n Wild over Circus World. In February 1985, Circus World started putting vintage objects and exhibits up for auction and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, it goes on to show that Circus World ended up being shuttered out because of a new park opening at Walt Disney World. And at the time, that new park was Epcot, and eventually, of course, Universal opened. And Universal always struggled all the way up until the time that they put Harry Potter in. And that changed everything because that changed competition for Disney World. Disney World had like a wake-up call. Yeah. So some different things. What is let's see. So this says, Tom F says, seems like your router is overworking or losing signal and fighting for channels. Spectrum's like to throttle users bandwidth. Well, silly old Spectrum. Yeah, well, we'll see. I am actually not that close to the router in my house. So yeah. We will figure out how to fix that. That could just be I could end up plugging in with the cord. That could happen. But yeah, so these things can happen. I want to see. There's one other story that I want to bring up and talk about that really, really adds to the possibility that one day is not impossible to think that Disney World in a lot of different ways. So as we all know, in the year 2020, that was completely unprecedented, and it was not what people think. So the situation of, let's just say that a type of head cold, chest cold, whatever cold, came up. They called it something else, of course. But I don't want to use the name because I want to make sure this video goes out and can get out without any issues. And sometimes when you use certain language, it causes issues with the YouTube algorithm. So, but anyway, we all know that that thing happened in 2020. That was not unprecedented. Okay, lots of things have happened before, right? Lots of viral things have infections, illnesses have gone worldwide. What did happen that was very year of 2020, after a great run by a former president, 2017 up to February of 2020 were some of the most incredible years that the United States has ever had as far as a booming economy, great values with real estate, great jobs. I mean, there were all kinds of wonderful things that happened during that period. And it seemed like it could not end because everything was going well for the current situation until this thing happened, and they used it as an excuse. They meaning people in power that I don't know who they all are, but they use it as an excuse to do something unprecedented. So that wasn't unprecedented, but the it being used as an excuse for that was unprecedented. And one of those things was closing down Walt Disney World. Unbelievable. Couldn't believe it at the time. Still hard to believe now that it even happened. But this is out of CNN Business, and this is from March 12th, 2020, when it was first announced. Walt Disney World closes, paralyzing the company's tourism empire. Disney tourism business has come to a halt because of the thing that I'm not going to say. It's on the screen. You can all read it. Disney is closing Walt Disney World is flagship theme park resort in Orlando, Florida, because of the global pandemic. The company, and this is what's so silly. It was a response to something that never needed to happen because people are smart and we can take ourselves. And this lack of trust from corporate and government entities of the people is perverse, disgusting. I don't know what other words. None of it helped save a single life, in my opinion. I don't think there was anybody's life that it was actually saved by any of this. So as a matter of fact, it caused so many headaches and so many weird reactions that I think the damage, more damage, the actual reason for the response. So this was their announcement at the time. In an abundance of caution and in the best interests of our guests and employees, we are proceeding with the closure of our theme parks at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, Disneyland, beginning at the close of business on Sunday, March 15th through the end of the month. Through the end of the month, it was going to be a 2-week shutdown. Oh, that was so funny. 2 weeks. Shortly after Disney announced the closure of its Florida parks, Universal Orlando announced it would too, and then the whole world started to shut down. The shutdowns were led by Walt Disney World, okay? I think a lot of people thought, okay, if those entities that are that big are shutting down, then, man, maybe everything has to. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking, but my point is very simple. There are lots of different reasons. If anything like that ever happened again, and as much money as that cost the company. So and the reason it cost the company money is actually, it didn't seem to cost the company that much money back then, because in 2019, they had just started their streaming service of Disney Plus. But I want to say, they got their stock up to over $200 when Bob Chapek was the CEO. Well over $200. Now it's sitting around 100, or maybe a little bit less. I don't know. But man, it's not outside of the realm of possibility that Disney World could close and become like Chesterfield Mall. That's what it was like for us driving around Disney World. At that time, and of course it stayed closed for months. Disneyland stayed closed for over a year. That really hurt the company more than anything, because Disney World is the number one resource of profit for the Walt Disney Company. Any of the entities that they have, Disney World is number one. I'm sure the cruise line does well. I'm sure other entities do well. But that's their biggest moneymaker, even over movies when they do have a success like Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's see who all is in the chat. I'm backing up. I'm looking for any. I don't see any super chats, but I think I'm looking for. Let's see if I can find some of the member chats. So Go and Shogi, as a member, says Disney is more likely to sell than close. The circus had issues with their perception because of the animal cruelty. That is true, except that all of that happened before that perception. I think the early 1980s, I don't really think people were caring as much, at least not then, as they do now. Now the entire circus has closed or changed or something. They definitely don't have they don't have Go and Shogi also as a member says if the Disney characters get tarnished enough, later generations will have zero reasons to care about Disney. That is true. That is very true. And as kids seem to be really, really attaching on to characters that are in games, like a Mario character, a Zelda character. Those are the characters that are going to become far more popular with theme parks, and Disney doesn't have those characters. Universal has those characters. And Izzo is up here as a member, and Izzo says, hi, Kathleen. Speaking of that, let's celebrate our members' chats with a celebration. Even though we haven't had a super, I'm going to give us a
Is it too much? Too much.
Hello.
It's perfect.
Oh, this is just the best of us. Hey, everybody loves it. Celebration time. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Oh my gosh, yeah, we like to have fun. Ed Grimley, I love that we have the Ed Grimley emoji for members now. It's awesome. So the thing about Disney World, and this is what the reason I wanted to bring this up today, is looking at Chesterfield Mall, looking at Blockbuster Video, looking at Radio Shack, looking at the closure of Opryland and Circus World, and one I didn't even bring up, which was can't remember what it's called, something like Little China or Amazing China or something like that. There was a theme park. It's now occupied. The land, the space that's there, still exists. Obviously, the land still exists. Circus World is a parking lot now for like a, I don't know, a bunch of little stores. The what was it called? Amazing China? I can't. Anyway, the Chinese theme park, which was a walkthrough of miniatures of things that you would find in China, that ended up closing too. It never really did well, but that was another park that you could go to, and is now occupied by Margaritaville Resort, which is very nice off of 192, just kind of like the flip side of Animal Kingdom in Disney World. So, and there's a big old water park. I think it's H2O water park attached to that. So there, the point is things do change. Now, Walt Disney World is huge. It is like 40 square miles, a tremendous amount of acres. It's like 12 miles by 8 miles, or some huge amount like that. It's the size of San Francisco, the city of San Francisco. So for it to close, it is far more likely that in the future, maybe the Disney World company could be forced to sell, or if they're ever broken apart, could be forced to sell or change it. I don't know if they'd keep the name. I don't know what they do. There's tons of resorts. Disney World is not a park. Disney World is a number of different resorts, but it's not without precedent that it could majorly change and be something so different 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, it could be something way, way different than what we have been seeing up to the current times. So if it becomes that, we shall see. I'm not predicting that's going to happen. I'm just saying it's not without the realm of possibility because things change and sometimes in surprising ways that we just can't predict, actually. With that being said, I want to thank everybody that has been here today. We're going to redirect you over to Culture Casino, how I believe is talking about the wrap of filming on the new Superman Legacy movie. I believe that movie has wrapped filming, and that's what he's going to be talking about. I'm not really sure because I haven't watched the program yet. So let's all go over there and say hi to Culture from Follow the Bradleys Fun. I'm just checking real quick to see if we have. I don't want to miss any supers in case they were there. So I'm going to look through the chat. And nope, doesn't look like it. I'm going to see if I missed any. Oh, wait, there is a super from Go and Shogi. Drops a super at the. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much. You have to do that, Go and Shogi. I just realized there's no more walk around characters in the parks. They're all in stations. Now the walkways are no longer exciting life of their own. That's pretty much true. And even the only way you see characters that are kind of in that more walk around vein is if they're in training. There are certain sections of Epcot or Hollywood Studios where you don't normally see characters, and you'll see like 3 or 4 or 5 gathered together, and they're different. They're not even like the same family of characters. Like you might see a Mick and Albert or something like that. Those typically are characters in training. It's sort of Galaxy's Edge, I think sometimes that's the only place you see characters like the stormtroopers walking around. But you know what's so sad is you might see 2 stormtroopers or a Kylo Ren or a Rey walking around Galaxy's Edge, and it's nowhere near as cool as it was when Star Wars weekends were going on. That's going to be a subject of a whole nother show about how Hollywood Studios, what has happened to Hollywood Studios. In its heyday, it was amazing. Star Wars weekends was so much better than anything Galaxy's Edge could hope to be because you had like 500 different Star Wars characters walking around during Star Wars weekend. And I'm not even kidding them, because you had volunteers that they would allow to come in and portray characters. You had Grimoire guards walking around, Darth Maul, Darth Vader. Sometimes the real actors that play those people were there too, and it was so much cooler. Yeah, it is a crucial energy that is no longer there. But before we leave, since you did drop the super, we have to celebrate it again. Dance time celebration.
Is it too much? Too much. It's perfect.
Oh, this is just the best of my scene. I was thinking of Pee-wee going, gosh, Dottie, you don't want to be with me. I'm a loner. I'm a rebel. I know you are, but what am I? Oh, Pee-wee. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. Let's go. Let's get you over to Culture Casino. Again, members, if you are a member, we're going to do a members only stream this Saturday morning. Be looking out for that. It's going to start at 9 or 10 a.m. We're going to start with all members, and then we're going to, we might start with everybody, change it just to a members stream, and then change it just to an upper level members stream, Skyliner and above. So thank you so much for coming into, oh my God. It's going to have to make me do another celebration. OCDD, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Very surprised, but very grateful for the $4.99 Super Chat, OCDD. Thank you so much. So sad. Just realized a lot of difference from 2004 and even 2016 characters popping up. Magic Lost, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Yes, we got one more Ron, oh my gosh.
Is it too much? Too much. It's perfect.
Hey, this is just the best of us team. Oh, we are having so much fun today. Thank you guys so much. Tell Culture Casino hi from Follow the Bradley's Fun when you go over there. And until tomorrow, we will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.